We are almost late today because I heard my neighbor playing a song really loud. So, whenever you are in a cult, whether it's religion, culture, belief, or whatever that is, because you're in a community, there are some rituals that you do. And the rituals that the people here to do is singing with music. And that's why, like, there are loud music. So I'm waiting for that to be over. And right now is the time that they finish the song. And it's like 20 minutes until 6 p.m., which is our closing time for streaming. But I feel like we can go over because it's bright outside and I can't do stream in my room because it's hot. It's really hot. Right now it's not that hot because we have rain yesterday and it's really cold last night. So we have like an okay temperature for the day, thankfully. But I have something like really striking me today, which is like I'm in this journey to own my full self, right? So I'm quitting the suffering mode. I'm just like entering to my abundance side. And some things are shifting in my time because I choose to be in this state of abundance, of freedom, of getting what I want, of manifestation, of letting the flow through me. So I'm here with this kind of insight, and something hit me today that to be abundance is exactly the point, is that you will never be in limitation no matter what you do because you believe that you will have certain things by default because that's what you believe. So I'm saying this because I want to believe that. I want to believe it like that. And if you see in this live stream description, I have written all of the things that I'm actually going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about today. And I did that so that I have an outline for the things that I want to talk about. So if I stray away in any kind, and I have my notes here, and it just saying things that I wrote in the description. But if I stray away, you probably notice I'm still going to go back to what I have talked about. So here's the thing about abundance is that when you go into suffering mode, you start to barrier yourself between I can't go there because there is a limitation or to go there essentially. Either it's by experience, it's by memories, it's by resources, it's by a painful past. Anything can block you from getting what you want. But then there's this guy named Matias, and I have followed him for quite a while. And he's really big in spiritual community because of how awesome he is in his story. Because he remembered the past lives of his. And side note, one of the podcasts that he did, he said something around, oh yeah, every past lives, the main past lives I remembered, I was always a woman. So I have this confusion between I am believing myself to be of a woman, but my physicality right now is a male, and having to go through the operation, the do you call it? That surgery is not going to heal whatever I'm feeling because it's just going to create more trauma. So whatever you do, it's best to embrace what you have, which is interesting. And I also believe that. And under that podcast that he does talking, and he did talk about that Align podcast, if I'm not wrong. He actually, I actually commented, most of my main past life is actually a gender. So I don't have any form. I don't have any gender. I was just a being flowing through universe, helping things to exist. That's what I usually be. I was once the smoke that create the earth, which is weird. How do I know that? I don't know. I just know that I was the building stone of earth at some point. It was around hundreds of years. I was just drifting as this force that is helping the earth coming into their form. And one time I was just a warrior somewhere, some planet. I was a female in that place. And then I was a male counterpart of an UFO. And I was dead in that spaceship, which why I have told you before. So it's weird that sometimes we have this kind of dichotomy about ourselves, because right now I'm a woman. And being a woman is weird because in this moment, in this time and space and place, there is so much toxicity in the world that you just never get to deal with. So that is a side note. But we are straying away so much that we want to talk about something from Matias. So Matias has this philosophy about financial journey of his, which is he doesn't save. And I'm like, that's interesting. I do know that the energetic of saving is recording. That's weird. The energetic of saving is actually, I am at risk of not having money in the future. So that in itself is something that energetically negative, because you are not saving for the joy of saving, because you are just saving because of, you are in fear. So there are multiple ways to save. I feel like there should be multiple ways to save, but because the main reason of people, when people promoting to save their money in a bank or in somewhere, someplace, is based on that you don't know what will happen for your future. There might be some war up there and prices go up and your money saved somewhere will have this decreased value on it. And I'm like, okay, but that's fear based. You don't want to play with that more. So there is this energetic, you understand, right? There's this energetic around saving that you play in the shadow and the negativity of this world. So I understand that we can't continue doing this, but what would be the alternative for this financial struggle, is that the word? Because then how do you actually create wealth if you don't save? And then he said in this such a profound way, wait a minute, I'm gonna fix my veil for a moment. Is that when you actually spend your money, the money will move, because money is energetic, and it will move depending on what you spend on. Meaning, if you spend on trips and you believe that you will meet people there, then you will meet people there that will get you to do things. So there is this video that I watched from him talking about how he does his financial journey. And if you want to watch it, you can go to the description at the bottom before my links. There is this link that is directed to the clips that I watch on him saying about it. So it's fascinating to be that way. But when you hear it in the first place, you won't get it. You understand it. That's the philosophy. That's the way to do it. But how do you actually catch yourself and start applying in the way that he does? Now, I personally right now still broke. I don't have enough to like spend on this privilege things when you get to buy anything that you want whenever you want it. So I still have to live by budget, and I have this budget tightly, and I can't do surprises like today when I was hungry. I was just hungry today and I don't have anything in the house, so I need to go out and buy, which is unheard of. Because if you are living by budget, it's so anxious about spending your money when you know it will decrease and you won't have anything else to spend. And I have these moments like, oh my god, I'm so scared to spend my money because I feel like I'm going to go bankrupt. And I feel like I can't have more because this is just what I have been doing all the months that I've been living by budget. But then I was living in this timeline when I want to be in abundant life. So I picture myself, okay, if this is not mixing well with the timeline that I want to be in, so what would we do in the case of this experience? Because financially, I'm living in the shadow. So what would you do? And I'm thinking about it. I'm integrating to different timeline. I'm integrating to different option, and I think about what Matias said, which is like long ago. And I heard him saying that, and I'm like, okay, what if we apply Matias' language in our present? And I heard it the third option, which is, well, you can spend the money, get something to eat, and knowing that you will have the energy to do your work, to eventually start letting people know that you are exist, and eventually when people want to work with you, you will get paid, which is like the motion of money, because money is energetic, and when you know how to move money, you are creating wealth. So I'm buying into that analogy, and I'm like, okay, that's the game that we are going to play today. So I go out, I buy the things that I need to eat for the day, and I feel great. So one of the way to be better at being abundantly in your resource is that applying a small change every day in the things that you are struggling with in the day is how you change, because you change slowly and surely. You can take a big leap, but if you don't have the foundation to do that, you don't have the resources to do that, you won't get there. So if you don't have that, then do it slowly. And that's what I did today. I have the opportunity to, the option one, to just go out there and still buy, but with the limiting belief that I will go bankrupt. It's not great. If I don't go out, the option two is if I don't go out and I'll starve, that is also not good because I can't do my work. Because whenever I starve, I'm just like zoning out and blaming myself. Like, what is happening with my life? Why am I doing this? And I'm just not in emotion. So there are a negative outcome, a negative influence in the first and the second option. So I didn't choose that. But the third option has this motion of positivity, and I like it. So I take the third option. My cat is sneezing. And this is also why I live in budget, because I have 8 cats that I haven't sterilized. And I need to do that. I know. And I just read a comment about my cats like, why didn't you sterilize your cat? And I'm like, I need to do that. At the beginning, now this is another limitation I used to have. I don't like the idea of limiting the cat experience to be so um, limited in their own experience, meaning that if I don't let them reproduce, then they won't have that experience of become the parents, and they don't know other things. Because psychologically, if you have cats that already give birth, there are some psychological difference in their behavior. They become more loving, they become more pet like, they become more dependent on you, because especially female cat, because female cat needs some sanctuary to nurse the baby. And if you have that connection, no connection with your cat, it's a lot deeper, the bond. If you have a deeper bond with your cat, then that's probably one of the whys. Wait a minute. Get down. Get down. Get down. But then I also can see, so this is a bit of a spiritual negative tendency that I have, is that I can see the timelines of how they are being, if they are choosing to be a parent or not. And some of my cats are not meant to be parents, meaning that they will be that cat who give birth but then don't nurse the baby. There are some of the cats like that. So some of, but the others have this really great nursing ability in their space, in their capacity. So I wonder, like, what would I do in this case? Because the first cat that I have, the holy cat, Perry, is a really great mother. I'm not gonna lie, because I saw the timeline, I was like, oh my god, this cat is in heat. She is mating with some cats out there, and do I want to keep the cats? Do I want to keep the babies? And I see the timeline, and I say, okay, she is actually a great mother, so we can let her do whatever she want to do. And I did that. I see the timeline. That's great. This cat, it's just jumping behind the laptop, is not a great mother. She gave birth and she didn't care about the kids, the babies. So the babies died. And I'm like, fuck. I need to take care, and I need to bury the baby because of her. She didn't take care of it. So that's one of the things. And it's really loud right now. I hope you don't mind. Because it's 6 o'clock. This is why. You will see that if it's 6 o'clock, you will hear the songs played out. So this is the song that the Muslim people use to call for their, what do you call it? People who believe in Islam to go pray. I don't really do that. Sorry. I know that people out there can't. There are some people who don't understand why I didn't do the prayer. Oh well, I don't necessarily want to be understood at this moment. So, but then now I understand that there are no needs to be playing in the timeline that you have no ability about. So there are that. So now I don't necessarily let them to mate or keep the baby. I'm just like, okay, if you don't want to take care of the baby, if you are mating and just like go away, that's fine. I don't play in this kind of victim mentality anymore. So that's one way to see it. There are some energetic that you will know playing in your option, and you need to know that if that option holds the abundance frequency that you know will accumulate, will not evolve, it just like flourish in your other area. So that's one way to see it. And wonder like if I have said, if I haven't said anything. Oh yeah, there's a risk. So there are risks that you know will happen if you choose a certain option, like what I said. But on the third option, on my first example, which is like I'm hungry and I want to eat something, and I choose the third option because the evolution, the journey of me taking that third option is a lot more flourish in my own reality. So I choose it because of that. It doesn't feel great. There is still a risk of me not getting the client, me not having the money quick enough, me need to suffer because of my failure in budgeting, me there are so many other things, but I have the confidence that I know I can share what I offer to the people who will pay me. So there are some risks that you need to think about. But in order to choose, you also need to know the flow of that frequency, meaning that is it feeling okay for me to actually take this risk? Is it okay to actually take that risk instead? Is it actually okay for me to wait another option to rise so that I don't choose because I am completely pressured by this reality that I'm in? So it's really loud right now, and I already said what I said. You can read the whole thing in the description for the things that I might not have said. I hope you a good day. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.